hotel only had like 2 beers left in the refrigerator. This is all they had.
That's fine. Yes, we're making Jeremy drink.
Simone is so hype.
Lord knows what's going to happen now.
Oh man! All right, good. I feel ready now. All right. Okay. Welcome to the Ladies Lair. Woo, 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 woo,
I cannot with you.
It's your girls, Simone.
This is Christie. Welcome,
girl. Yes, and we have a special goddamn guest. Yo, we literally, I mean, I've been ready to like do this fucking interview like for the goddamn longest.
Like you've been way too pumped all day about this interview.
I have, because I feel like a special connection with him already.
I mean, you know, like we'll talk about it as we introduce him.
Right.
Let's introduce him.
You know, yeah, this is literally like one of our favorite fucking people. So anyway, here is the host of Life Unplugged, Mr. Jeremy. Woo!
What's up?
Yo, the amount of woohoo that she just gave you. Like she's giving me
I love it.
Vibe.
Thank you. I feel so special. Oh my
like
god.
Like she's giving me like ooh, ooh, ooh. Like you about to bark vibes.
I mean, like you had like some heavy hitters on y'all's show already.
Man,
I mean,
fucked up. No, I'm joking.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, I feel really special. You know, what's up, guys?
Special. We need
what's up, Ladies Lair?
How are you,
Jeremy? How are you?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
We are doing great.
Yeah, I'm like fidgety. Hold on, let me get comfortable.
Oh, don't be nervous.
I mean, beauty does tend to do that to people.
Yeah, I know, it does.
Oh my god. Okay, so before we get into, you know, how you started your podcast and everything else, we're gonna take our shots first. We're making you drink, even though it's beer. It's something.
We are always taking shots of tequila.
Right.
Awesome.
Yes. So you know, yeah, just to have.
What are you chasing with, Simone?
Huh?
What are you chasing with?
I'm doing it with the Smirnoff. Right. Yeah, I know.
Like I said, this is all the hotel had.
Yeah, that's all I had in my fridge.
I'm chasing with wine. You know, I always got wine in the fridge.
Yeah. Oh, that shot wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I don't know why the first one was so rough.
That shit was rough. Sorry, guys. We definitely did that way before this.
We definitely started drinking already, guys.
Right.
What's a surprise?
You guys are like you're like the drink queens.
Listen, we like to have a good time.
Yeah.
No, but this is the funny part, though. Everybody swears we are alcoholics. We literally go weeks, like days.
I wonder why.
Drinking. I know, right? But we go a while without drinking. I mean, the last time we drank was what? When we did that?
Our live.
That was fucking 11 days ago.
Yeah.
We go a long time without drinking.
Okay.
Right.
We just save it for you guys.
We really do save it for you guys.
It's just, first of all, and when like she's my drinking buddy, like she's literally of all my friends the only one who can go pound for pound, round for round with me. So it's like if I'm gonna drink with somebody, I'm gonna drink with the person who can do it with me.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm a very social drinker. I need to be out.
Oh, out. Yeah.
Like I need to be out. Like if I'm out, I can drink all night.
I think.
But if I'm like sitting at home, like doing nothing,
hey,
I like sip a beer and then I'm asleep.
Sure. I'm like quarantine helped me realize that I can have fun at home.
Listen, quarantine. At one point, I was buying like 8 bottles of wine at a time. Like it was
look at
bad.
You. See, I wasn't doing wine. I was definitely just drinking tequila.
Tequila was there too, but like when I'm drinking wine, I'm drinking like the bottle. So
that's the problem. Right. Anyway,
there's that.
There is that. Hey, okay, Jeremy. So yes, please talk about your podcast. I listened to the episode today, and it was actually so goddamn good. The season finale of it. I mean, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So we got the Life Unplugged podcast. We just wrapped up season 1, and yes, the finale, it was a 2-part finale episode where we had collabs with the Y'all Ain't Easy podcast and also Smoking Word podcast. So I love both of those podcasts. Again, I like supporting other podcasters. That's how really I started the Support Series podcast, by asking other podcasters to come on and sit down and talk with me. So what I found out is, well, let me backtrack. So I started you want to know how I started my podcast?
Yes,
We're going? Okay. All right. So start at the beginning. So initially, the reason that I started my podcast was to connect with my family. So I am the oldest cousin, oldest brother, oldest cousin, and I left home when they were all still very young. Okay. So I had a daughter in high school and I was left home at 18. And like my youngest brother was like 6 years old when I left home. So a lot of my cousins and my brothers and sisters, I didn't get to spend time with them because I was off doing grown-up stuff and they were growing up having fun. And then years went by and they all became adults. So quarantine happened and we started a family Zoom night. And on this Zoom night, I decided, hey, I want to do a podcast so I can get to know you guys.
Wow.
So that's how it started. But, you know, when it's with family, it gets hectic.
It gets a little dicey, so I guess.
Yeah, it gets a little hectic. So, excuse me, we've had some good episodes. I've gotten to, sit down, have a conversation with my mom, my sister, and my cousin who actually had like a tragedy that I knew nothing about. Okay, if you listen to like the second episode, my sister's boyfriend got killed like 3 days before my wedding. I had no idea.
Wow.
Like that's how disconnected I was, I guess, with my own life. But so it started off that way. But in the interim, I started the Support Series podcast where I started reaching out to other podcasters. It's more specifically like the newer ones, right? Because I didn't really, the reason I did that is because I didn't really know anybody. So I knew that I had reached out to a couple of established podcasters, like, hey, do you want to do this? And they were like, yeah, we'll get back to you. Nobody would get back to me. So the newer podcasters who were like, just wanted to get to know the community, they were like, sure, I'll come on and do it with you. So I started doing that. So initially it was called the podcast support series, but after a few episodes, I didn't want to get locked into just podcasts, right? So I changed it to Support Series Podcast. Okay. So then I found that IG Live was just to do it every week on IG Live it's just too, I don't know, it was too much. A lot of people started calling me or DMing me, asking me to interview them, but I could only do it once a week on IG Live. So that's why I wrapped up season 1 and I'm no longer doing the Support Series podcast on IG. I've actually combined the Support Series with the Life Unplugged podcast. So my season 2 and basically going forward will be strictly doing interviews. So I have season 2 is going to be all about inspiration, motivation, support, just people telling amazing stories, overcoming amazing obstacles, life-threatening injuries, very difficult situations, mental health, anxiety. We're going to discuss all of those things. I have some professional people that are going to come on. I just finished up with a therapist out of Austin, Texas, to talk to us about mental health. I have another guy, his name is Corey. He has a website called Path of Potential where he's all about helping people live their best life, right?
Yeah, for that.
We're going to talk to a young lady who was a traumatic brain injury survivor when she was 17. She was in a life-threatening car accident that changed her life. She literally had to learn how to do everything all over again. So her story is very inspirational. We're talking to women who have lived through domestic violence, and they're going to tell their story. So for season 2, I have a lot of stuff coming up. It's all about motivating people to live their best life and sharing inspirational stories to really encourage people to just overcome. You know, when you think that your situation is bad, there's always someone who has a worse situation.
I've been saying that.
That's true.
Because we've had a rough
couple of years.
Right.
Of course, 2020, I mean, I feel like for everybody though was, rough, but we've had losses and stuff. So it's been a crazy fucking time. So yes, I've been telling myself that too. Like, you know what, Simone, you could get through it because there's somebody out there that's going through way worse than you. Like, thank God that you are alive. You're opening your eyes. You're breathing through these lungs and get through the shit. All right.
That's it.
Yeah. So I totally understand that. I love
it. So that'll be dope. We're definitely looking forward to hearing all of that inspirational stuff because everyone needs a reason to be and, to think beyond their own self.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, good. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen. You know, I'm always in.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate, and I just want to say that too, because I really do appreciate you guys' support and listening to the episodes. And you guys, I mean, all of the podcasters know, and I think that we get tremendous amount of support from all of the podcasters who, you know, if people rock with us, they rock with us. If they don't, they don't.
Like,
I mean,
and I'm okay with not being for everybody.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, truth be told, I don't listen to everybody. Like I even, you know, I can't, you can't. No, and everybody's podcast is not for everybody. So, but I do appreciate you guys from day one. You talk about day ones, man. Y'all been with us. We both had 100 followers at the same time.
Yes.
Listen,
you don't understand. Like we have literally been through this together this entire time. Like everybody does not know. We all started October. And, you know, like, and we have just been. I feel like we have been climbing through this and getting through it together. Honestly, like if I didn't have all these people, like I don't know, like it's been fun. Community, first of all, the podcast. It really funny quick story. So I saw that you guys were doing, like, you were like, hey, we have 200 followers. They're going to do 2 shots, 300 followers, 3 shots, right? And then I was like, oh, shoot, that's cool. I hit like, I don't know, what was it, 400 or 500? Yes.
I hit 400, right? And I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to do 3 shots. I did 4 shots that night. I was like, okay, no. I was like, no, I'm done with that. I'm not doing that no more.
Listen, I know you don't understand. I was dying laughing and telling Chrissy, like, he's trying to do pizzas next the time because he cannot keep up with these shots. Because trust me, we can't keep up with these fucking shots.
Listen, we hit our 1,000.
Done.
Okay. Y'all did 10 shots, man. I would be messed up.
We were. What do you mean? We were okay.
It was a rough night, but you know,
a rough, great night though.
It's always, you know, y'all always have so much fun. But no, I want to say thank you. I really do appreciate it because it's always good when you. That's what we come into this community. We're all talkers. We want to connect. That's why we're doing this, because we want to connect with people, and so I appreciate you guys.
Oh, of course.
You know, for all the support.
Thank you.
So, Jeremy, are you with the shits tonight?
I just want to go there. I'm like, all right, enough with the bullshit.
Right. Are you with the shit?
All right. All right. Now listen.
It's very gentle.
You still react anything.
Yeah, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. You have to. When I come to people's platform, I do what they do. You know.
Yeah, we're gonna make this serious, but
it's all good.
Shit first,
right? You just want to know if you want the shit.
Chrissy, ready to get to it. She like, come on,
right? This was great. We love the uplifting.
You're like, season 2. All right, let's go.
You're in the lair, so please remember that.
All right, let's go.
Go ahead, Simone.
All right, so okay, so you've been married. You are married, I should say. My apologies.
Yes.
How long have you been married for?
24 years.
24 years.
I'll be, as a matter of fact, our anniversary is next Monday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
Thank you.
Look at her.
I know. We actually I met my wife when I was 14.
Right. I know that.
So we have been together 30 years, really, basically.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That's insane. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so has the sex changed as the marriage has progressed?
It has gotten better.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about 14 now.
Yeah.
From 14,
right. No, obviously
it has gotten better.
But in your 20s,
where he is right now.
So I will. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Right, you just right to it. Okay.
Yes.
No, we not lubing nothing.
No lube.
No lube.
We get right to it. Okay. All right. What I will say is I was like any typical 21-year-old, right? Now the difference between me and maybe a typical 20-year-old that was in college, where a 21-year-old in college was probably sleeping with multiple women, I was sleeping with one woman.
Right.
Because I was married. I was married at 19.
Damn.
So I was sleeping with one woman. So I learned with one woman. We learned together. Like really, because she been just like I've been with her, she'd been with me. So she wasn't sleeping around either.
Yeah.
So we learned together. So I will say I didn't know if I was bad. We didn't really know bad, like really what was bad.
Like,
I mean, to be honest, we really didn't know what was bad. You know, we were basically like, she was my first, I was her first, and we had a baby right after, right? So, so we didn't really know what was bad. Like we had a baby like right ever. Away. What you say, Christie?
I said this is the cutest thing ever. I can't.
Yeah, I know it doesn't happen that much now, but but yeah, we had a baby. We were still in high school, so when I was in my 20s, I thought I was putting it down, but it was really when we got older that it got better, because what I realized was we had kids young, and when you have children, your sex schedule, you schedule sex around your children.
Yeah.
Right. And so my wife is she's an introvert, right? She's very like, oh, don't let the kids, she don't want the kids to hear. And, I'm just like, man, close the door. I don't care. Like, y'all already know what's going down. Like,
right. You about to get this noise.
Right. So she's very like, so for a lot of years, we were like scheduling sex. We had to go in the closet and close the door, close the room door, and then close the walk-in closet door. And I have like a high heel shoe up my behind, trying to get it in, so, it was like all weird. Right. And so then when our kids got older, this is why I say, I know that the sex has gotten better, because when our kids got older and they were gone, and then we'd have the house to ourselves for like a whole weekend.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. And so, we would try different things, and, so definitely at 45, I'm having much better sex. The sex is much better now.
I mean, we had an episode talking about that. Who you are sexually 10 years ago is day and night from who you are now. Like, you're willing to experiment and try some shit that you never even thought of.
Yeah, right.
Or so thought that you'd even do.
What do you do to spice things up then?
You mean like specifically what do we do?
Yes. Hello.
Did you forget where you were?
I mean, I'll say this, right? It starts with communication, right? Yes. My wife is much more freaky when two things happen. When there's alcohol involved.
Yes.
Okay, that's the first thing. So I know she tries not to drink because she don't like because she, like I said, I take advantage of it, right? All right.
Damn right I am.
All right,
exactly.
But the other thing is conversation. She loves, so if I take her out and we just talk for the whole day, I pretty much I have my way. Right. So I have
this is so innocent.
Yeah, it is. But it's the truth. It really is the truth. I mean,
adorable.
I think that's one of the benefits of having been with, the same woman for so many years, that we've seen so much, we've been through so much, we've done so much that, we don't need much to make us so if we talk, I'm not into like role play and all of that. Like, I'm not into like, she's like, you want me to buy lingerie? I'm like, no, like for what? What do I care? Why do I want you to go spend $100 on lingerie? Just get into bed. Like, we cool. You know what I mean? So we have like our things that we enjoy. We enjoy each other's company. And we get on each other's nerves, believe that.
Of course.
We do. But yeah, I mean, sex is good. And it's not, I see some crazy stuff on Instagram and on the internet, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all doing, because it ain't that serious. But I think that's like a byproduct of, when you can have multiple partners, I guess. I don't know, I'm guessing. But when you can have multiple partners, you're gonna come across people that are into different things. So you're gonna come across people that are, that are into two, they've had it before you. They had two women before you, so now that's like their thing, right?
That's
you're
gonna
have some women, some women that are heavy into toys, right? You're gonna have some, right, which is cool. But I'm just saying, but if I'm a man that's going from woman to woman, it gets harder and harder for me to please a woman.
It's true.
Because every woman's into something different. I've been with the same woman for 25 years. I know her body like no other. Okay, so I don't need. So I don't.
No other.
I don't have no. Yeah, I don't ever have to worry. There isn't another man in the world.
Think that.
Okay, that knows anything about my woman. Not another man. Okay,
Nothing.
So and I got the 24 years in to prove it. So
I mean you have the upper hand. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like, single life is, I never got to be single, right? And obviously I would be lying if I said that there weren't times that I was like, dang, I could be out here hanging with my boy. All my brothers are single, and they out having a good time. And I see sometimes, you see
they're lying
now, but
they're lying.
Again?
They're lying.
They're lying about what?
Having a great time being single. They're lying.
Okay. Are they lying? Really?
They're lying.
Okay.
That being by yourself all the time gets old after a while.
Does it really?
It really does. They're lying.
It's rough out here, man.
Listen,
I was in a
stay where you at, Jeremy. It is not fun out here
in
in the streets.
11 years, and I thought like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out this shit. Like, oh my gosh. Now that I'm in it because I had no choice but to be in it, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This shit
that's tough.
Ridiculous. I don't want it. I take everything back. Oh my God.
Bring him back to life so I can have a partner.
Oh, jeez, this is not it. This ain't it.
I don't know what I would do.
But no.
If I had to be single again, I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't even know where I would start because the only thing I could think is that probably if I was single again, a woman would probably fall in love with me because I already know how. Because
you know how to keep a woman.
There's certain things that single men might have over me, right? Like they might be into some freaky stuff that I'm not into, but really the way to a woman is up here. I mean, that's where I think I have the advantage over most single men today, that it's really up here. If you can stimulate a woman's mind, then everything else will follow. So, I mean, that's why I figure if I had to be single, that's just that's doing too much nowadays. Cause I don't know what people into.
No, it's absolutely true. Fellas, are you listening to this shit, please? I need you
to
listen to this shit. All right. It's not about the fucking dick pics. All right.
Yeah, right. Who's sending? Who does that?
Listen, everybody.
What is going on?
Like literally, because Simone and I are both online dating. Like by the time the first couple of text messages in, there's a dick pic to follow. Like,
why?
Sir, I did not request
they don't know what else to talk about.
Like, I'm aware that you're a man, so I would hope that you do have a penis.
Right.
But there's no questions asked. It's just flying you the dick pic straight out the gate.
Here's the question for you guys. Have you ever gotten a dick pic that you were like, whoa?
Yes.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen a few that I'm just like,
You're like, I might have to message him.
Yeah, exactly.
There has been a couple, but it's just like, still, it's like,
I don't know what it does. Right. It may be big, it may be nice and, veiny and shit, but who knows what it does? Like,
not veiny.
I love
oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why guys. I missed that whole thing. I don't know why.
You didn't miss anything, Jeremy. Stay where you're at. But you're safe. No. What
I'm saying is, I missed that whole phase of that I never had to do. Like I don't know what. I don't even know how I would take a picture like that. Like what are you like? How do they?
This is what I'm saying. Listen, sometimes they be over the toilet and you got the nasty floor, who wants to see a dick hanging off of a toilet seat? Like,
listen, the last one I got.
Oh, that's gross.
Listen, the last one I got, he had it up on the the vinyl thing, whatever, the vanity, and had he backed up whole body. Okay. So
oh my God.
It just happened.
I don't know. Is that supposed to
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming
that's to bring you in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Hey, man.
My favorites are the ones with the remote next to it to let you know what I'm working on. The remote next to it.
No. You know what? Yeah.
Wow. I feel bad for y'all, man. I don't know. That's crazy. That would never be the first thing that I would think of.
Yeah, of course.
That would never even come to my mind.
Listen, it's wild out here.
Yeah. But
so like considering the fact that I'm sorry, Simone, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So considering the fact that you haven't done all this, you keep on calling freaky stuff, do you have any fantasies that you or things that you wanted to do with your wife that like you've seen it or thought of it and like, oh, that might be fun? Like, do you have any fantasies? This is a safe space.
I'm trying to think. No, I know. No, I'm really thinking. I mean, I guess if we were going to go there, and I would have to think of something that we hadn't done, I guess I would be down for another woman.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how my wife would do with that though.
Yeah.
But if she was down for it, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
See, there we go. It's fun to just imagine shit.
Right.
You have any fantasy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if she was down for that, but I guess see, this is a problem with, because now this is the problem with being married, because now I start thinking about all kinds of stuff, because that just enters like a whole nother thing, right?
This opens a different conversation for her.
Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, it's just too much.
But it's just a fantasy.
It's just a fantasy. But yes, if I had to pick one, I guess that would be it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. My fantasy is like, I don't really have one per se, I guess. I mean, I would love to do a threesome. But I don't really care if it happens or not.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm not like, babe, this is my fantasy. I want to do.
Yeah, like I don't.
I'm not like that. I mean, if you're gonna tie my hands and tell me I got to answer, yes, then yeah, I would do that.
Of course, right.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm very satisfied with one woman.
Yeah, I feel like my fantasies are very they're. Chris is gonna laugh at me. Mine are like being out in the woods or some shit, like, or just like that's my kind of thing. Like I like if somebody takes me out in the woods in the back of a truck, like I have this in my head right now, like literally like a red truck, back of it, open, sky showing. I'm going into detail.
Okay, yeah, no, you're all good. Hey, I mean,
like
good.
That's my kind of fantasy. Like I don't feel like I need.
If I hear this one more time,
because it literally is something that I would love to do, and I'm kind of getting a guy to try to do this with me. But people are scared of the woods.
Simone wants some wood sex.
People are scared of the woods, and I just want wood sex, and I feel like that'd be my fantasy, and I would be happy. I'll die happy, and I'll be fine.
Okay.
What's your fantasy, Chris?
I wouldn't mind trying like some bondage stuff, like tie me up type shit, blindfolding me type shit. I don't think I'm controlling, but I don't like not knowing. So I would be open to the not knowingness of that. Because I just need to know. Like I need to.
Is he blindfolding you and?
Yes. You can blindfold me, tie me up, whatever.
No.
Okay.
just experience to like have no control or the only sense I have to deal with is just feeling. That's a little weird to me.
I don't know. That seems like so much work.
Right.
But it might be fun and worth it.
I do have my name for it already. It's pineapple. if it just comes into play, I mean, you never know. like wait, pineapple, hold on, nope, can't do it. Just saying. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, so let's get into deep conversation. Enough with the shit. Okay. So your marriage, obviously, yes. So you're 19, you said, when you got married, right? Yeah. So were your parents in your life when you
so I was raised by a single mother and a single grandmother.
Ooh,
right?
Okay.
So I was with my mom until I was about 12, and then I lived with my grandmother till I left home.
Right.
They were neither one of them were, well, my grandmother was. So what's your question? Go ahead. What's your question?
No, I was gonna say, so your father wasn't in your life at all?
No.
Okay. So how did that affect your marriage then? Did it feel like it played a part into it?
So I don't think it played a part in it. And the reason that I'll say that is I was too young to know if it played a part in it. So we got married so young. I think that we didn't even process it as marriage. Wow. It was just, we were friends and we were like boyfriend and girlfriend until we were like till we realized we were married. You know, until like kids, till like, you know, until you have like bills and like real life stuff, right? So I think that it didn't affect us at all. My wife, both her parents, she was raised with both her parents her whole, you know, for the majority of her life. So they divorced. But I don't think that it affected me in a good or bad way.
Okay.
We just didn't know any different.
That makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
And we basically, you know, I think that we literally grew up together. So we learned everything together. Like literally.
Right.
Like, and it wasn't, we didn't have a lot of outside people that really came in, you know, to give us a whole bunch of advice or whatever. We kind of went off and we went into our own little world.
Right.
And like really cut ourselves off.
Difference. Yeah. It makes a big difference when you're with somebody at such a young age. And like you said, you're in this bubble together anyway. So you're moving through life with each other. So even all that outside things or even inside in the home is totally, it doesn't really affect you in the way that you think it would. You know, because I hear a lot of men say like, you know, oh, I didn't grow up with my dad, so this is why I act a certain way. Or my father beat, you know, my mom, so this is why I do it or I don't do it, you know, or whatever the case is, you know. But I'm just glad that it didn't, you said, like you say, it wasn't a bad or a good thing. You just like when you're in your own space. Basically.
I will say the only thing that I will say that as an adult, if I had to grab one thing that I would say affected me older, is that once I learned pretty much the circumstances under which my mom got with I call my biological, is that he was married with a whole family. He had a whole family, right?
Mm.
And I was never angry at him because I didn't know him to be angry, right? I didn't know him to have any feeling toward him at all, right? But I think as I got older, what I was able to do is have an understanding for why he wasn't around. Because what I said is, if I had a child right now, how would my wife respond to that? And you know, and what if, and let's just say she didn't know. Well, now I can't go how am I going to take care of this child if my wife don't know that I had an affair? I don't think that his wife knew initially. She only found out after I was a teenager. So I think I did have an understanding for why he wasn't there. Right. You know, so because I could understand as a man how easy it is to get caught up in a situation outside of your wife, right? That's just that's real life. It happens, right? It happens, and I really had an understanding. So by having sometimes when you understand things better, you can live with it because you understand it. You know, I think that's a lot of times why we struggle. Sometimes we're like, well, why did he do this? You know, we don't have the answer, and we just need the answer, but understanding the situation, I can have an answer, and I don't give him a pass. I just understand.
Right. No, that makes
sense. And I don't expect anything from him because I understand how that could have been difficult.
Yeah, that's very true.
Now, would I do it differently? I would do it differently.
No, he's definitely evolved. He's mature in that way.
So just listening to you talk, like I totally understand everything you say, but listening to you talk and like you realizing at 14 that you were gonna commit to, you know, your wife, like I don't know, it just seems like to me, just by listening and you understanding what making a commitment is, like even I feel it sounds like indirectly, like you already realized like the person who was supposed to make this commitment to your mom did it. So it's just like listening to you, I feel like you understood at that young age that I have to be better than him. I have to show what it feels like to be a real man and to make a true commitment to someone. Yeah, wow. That's just listening. I'm like,
no, that's accurate. In one of my episodes that I did, fathers versus dads, I actually said that I was actually driven by the fact that I never wanted my children to call anyone else dad. Now that didn't necessarily come from my own father. What that came from is that me and my brothers and sisters have different fathers.
Right.
Right. So my mom's not shy to tell you. She'll shoot when if my mom were to come on here and introduce herself right now, she'd tell you her name is Tonia, Hannah, Jennings, Wortham, Bird, and she'll give you all the last names of her husbands.
Oh my goodness.
So she's not ashamed. So she's not ashamed to, but we all have different fathers, right? So I was driven by that. Yeah. Right. So I never called any of her husband's dad. Never. Right. So I was more driven by the fact that I did not want my children to call anyone else dad. Even if I wasn't in their life, they were not going to call anyone else dad. So I was more so driven by it. It was less about him not being there and more about just the circumstances that I was in and what circumstances I wanted to create for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes total sense because I'm listening to you and I'm just like, to get that at such a young age is just like, first of all, we need to give you like a hand because to create that kind of commitment at such a young age is just like.
So, and I'll give you, and this will give you a little backstory on my life. So yeah, we met when we were 14, and I will say this, right? Obviously, she wasn't the first girl I ever saw, nor was she the first girl I ever liked, right? But I will tell you this. The first time that I saw her, I was young, but I knew it was something. Like it was something about
this is
that, right?
So cute. I can't.
Yeah, like I really did. This is the honest to God truth. Like I really knew that it was something about her. And the first time I met, so you might not realize, you might not think this, but actually I'm a very shy person. When I was young, I was shy. Like I would not talk to anyone.
Me too.
First of all, I was shy around like my friends, but to be around a girl, that was like shut down city. So when the first time I met her, I didn't say anything to her. Like literally, I didn't say 2 words to her. And we just stayed in contact over the years, just kind of ran into each other. And when we got to be about 16, when we could move a little bit more freely, through the city and, we're in high school now, that's when it really, so I would say, even though I met her when we were 14, we really have been together nonstop since we were 16.
Wow.
Okay. So.
Man,
16, I didn't even care what a boy looked like.
Yeah, we were, but then we had a child. But then my daughter was born. I was a senior in high school.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So we did, So that was, So we've been connected for a long time.
Wow.
Oh my God! At 16, I had this Guyanese guy. Oof.
Simone.
I'm sorry.
Reel it in, sis.
I had to lighten up the mood.
Really? I remember the story about the Guyanese guy. Okay, look, there's gonna be a shirt like that. Okay, if you guys can't, if you're listening to this, Simone and her hand gestures are wild.
Oh my God!
What about you, Simone? Do you think the relationships between your parents had any effect on you and your own relationship or your own marriage, I should say?
Right. So I was gonna say, so my parents divorced when I was 9. And even before they divorced, they had a very, very rough relationship. It was him cheating all the time, my mom finding out all the time. Literally every time he cheated, she would know, throwing him out, bringing him right back in. Like it was nonstop of that. Like until I feel like I don't remember my childhood much, maybe from when I was 6 to 9, I remember, because it was just, I guess, so traumatic that I wanted to block it out pretty much. So when they divorced, even my mom had a very rough life after that, I feel, with dealing with me as a kid and everything. And my father passed away when I was 13. So when I did get in my marriage, my husband, actually, we would talk about this a lot, where he would say, I'm in this marriage now and I'm never leaving, because in his life, he dealt with his parents always arguing and they never divorced, but because that's what happens, you get in arguments. This is what happens, you disagree with everything. My point of view was like, oh, if we're arguing this much, why are we together, kind of a thing, because I always seen that in my life, even with his grandparents, he would tell me that his grandparents were together, but his grandfather would leave for months and like had a whole nother family and then come back open arms his wife. Like, right. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I'm thinking like maybe that's just from an old school standpoint, but I just can never think of something like that. But I don't know. So me and my husband were together 11 years before he passed away. I don't know if you heard the episode, right?
I did. Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, it's been rough, but besides the point. But even before that, we had a very rough relationship, and I always said like, okay, well, I'm like, we get an argument. I'm like, I can't wait to fucking divorce you. I can't wait to get out of this shit. Blah blah. Like I would get so emotional because I was just thinking in my head like, why are we doing this? If we're like fighting like this and stuff like that. And with him, it was, no, we're sticking this shit out. Like we're fucking married. Who cares if we're arguing? It doesn't matter. Like no matter what, you are my wife. I love you. You love me. That's it. It doesn't matter. And now I do get it. I mean, we had conversations even after we had moved about it a lot during quarantine. About the situation, and I definitely I felt like I understood a lot more where he was coming from, where I was like, just because you argue with somebody doesn't mean that you leave. Just because somebody cheats doesn't mean you leave. Like maybe you could try to work it out, I mean, we're never going to get past it, but at the same time, I could forgive you and we could try to work this out, My thing was always like, no, you do this shit, like that's it, like let this go, like that's, but I think even though we had a rough relationship for those 11 years and me now trying to date, I feel like my mindset is definitely way different from what I've done.
Absolutely. Once you've been married, once you've been married, and I mean like a long term, like 11, like 10 or 11 years you were married.
Yeah, it was 12 years almost. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look at things completely different because I think that when you've been married for a long time, you have or in a long-term relationship, you have a concept of what it means to be long in a committed relationship. Right. Like you understand, like I know what 20 years looks like. But if I get with someone who's never been married before, they don't really have a concept of 20 years.
Right.
And what's going to happen in 20 years. Like you're going to go through so many things in a 20-year span. Like, and so, I could see to your point how difficult it could be now to date, because just your mindset is just totally different.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry, we were actually together 12 years, but married 6 years. Totally forgot. Okay. I felt like we were married this entire time.
Same shit. Right. That's not like
it's the same thing.
Yeah, it felt like we were married the entire time. That's why I always say that we were married this long, and I forget, like, oh wait, we were just together this long. But no. I mean, and I talk to guys now, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it feels like when you sign that piece of paper, a lot of things change, and I've actually talked to a lot of men that are married. I don't know if it's because they are married for a shorter time than you are, but a lot of them have been saying that to me too. Like, yeah, I mean, I feel like this, like when, like that first year is very rough, which I feel like my first year was rough. Like it took a lot to get back to the normal, whatever normal we were. But even now, I feel like I don't even know if I say this to Christy all the time. I don't even know if I want to get married because, I know what it is. I know how it feels to be married. And I feel like a lot of guys my age that aren't married aren't going to understand what goes into a marriage,
Right.
And I think that's the most scary part of it all.
It is scary. And so yeah, my first year was tough too. I mean, but I also had a 3-year-old, right? And so I think that marriage is not easy, right? No. Marriage in its entirety is not easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously there's some parts of marriage that are fun and that are enjoyable, and that like the stability. I think that would be the biggest thing that I would miss is coming home to someone every day. So Yeah, right. Just having someone always there, like there's some stability in it, but it's difficult. It takes a lot of work. It takes two people being committed, you know, and it's, you know, sometimes it takes one person being 100% invested when the other person is only 10% invested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it works that way. That's what marriage is, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and if you could get two people to a point, because we're different, right? So I'm growing at a different, like so if you could get two people to give 100%, that's when marriage is at its best.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think, of course, love plays a factor in it, but when it comes to marriage, it's more about love. It's about respect. It's about loyalty. It's about the commitment. It's so much more factors into just being in love with somebody, you know, because I loved my goddamn husband, but at the same time, there were days I hated him so much that, you know, but all those other factors helped me realize that, okay, no, I'm in this marriage kind of thing, you know, because you're not going to be in love with the person every goddamn day because, like you said, people are so goddamn different, you know?
Yep.
So, I mean, you're going to like dislike this person one day and then be in love with them the next day. So,
yes.
You know, so I need the person that I'm with next time to know, like, listen, you may love the fuck out of me, but at the same time, I need all this other shit because love is not going to keep this together. I'm sorry, because it's easy to fall in out of love with somebody.
Here's a question for you guys. Now I know that the dating game is different, you know, it's totally different. People sending dick pics and everything. I know that's a whole nother world, right? Right. But do you think that women are either setting their bar too high or weeding out good potential mates based on superficial things?
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm gonna take that one. Okay, I will say this. There are some women who are so worried about a man's income and stuff like that, that I feel like that's where a lot of women are setting a bar that's unrealistic. Because I can't ask a man to be making $150,000 a year and I'm only coming in here with 30. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of be realistic and understand that if I'm asking something of him, as a woman, we know we're not necessarily going to make the same 150 straight out the gate, but we have the potential to do it. You need to know that maybe he can be at 75 and you be at 40 and y'all can live a comfortable, happy life. You don't need the Birkins. You don't need the Chloe, the Chanel. You don't need that. Like, we're not living this fantasy life.
It's social
but
media.
I do think there are a lot of women who are pricing themselves out and dating outside of their hot zone. Like, you got to know where you're at. And if you're not bringing to the table what the man is asking, you have no right to ask that at all. Because now that I'm actively dating, for me, it's about, I need to make sure that you're looking for the same things. What is your intentions? If you're here for a good time, if you're here for a fuck, I don't need a fuck. I can find it. That's not hard to find. Are you looking for a future mate? Are you looking for someone who you could grow with and build with? Because that's where I'm at.
Right.
So if in regards to like that, I do think a lot of women so busy watching social media and all that silly shit and doing the bodies and all that shit looks good. It's great, but what else? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I do think that there are a lot of women who are doing that, but you have women who are like myself who understand, like, I really just want to be happy. Yeah. I really just want, you know, someone who's gonna make me laugh. Someone who's going to bring me flowers on Wednesday just because it's Wednesday, you know? So
since this is the ladies' lair, right? So I hear you. You said you just want to laugh. You just want to be happy.
Yes.
Simone, you said that you want someone to respect you. Loyalty, trust, all of that. We talked about finances. But what if he's like this?
Yeah, no, I don't want it.
No,
sorry. So this is about. So now you see where I'm going with this.
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm not asking for a 10-incher.
No,
a solid 6.5, 7. We're okay.
This is what he's saying. though. It's that list that we put this.
But
list,
that's the problem,
right? Listen, her list is he has to be over 6 feet. He can't be this skinny. He can't be this fat. He can't. And I'm like, bitch, the fuck? He can't have untamed hair. He better be well dressed. I'm like, oh my God.
Because I'm gonna tell you this, right? Like, so I'm 6'4", right? I'm a big guy, right? But right, I'm never gonna look like Dwayne Johnson.
I mean, right.
Ever.
Okay.
Okay.
Who is?
I'm not even going to try. I drink my beer. Okay. I eat my pizza. Ooh, right.
I love pizza.
But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt what I could bring to the table.
Of course.
I'm financially stable. I have a great job, great income. I have all the, but I don't look, like I might not look like what somebody, well, you got to have a 6-pack. Well, that's the only 6-pack I could give you is a 6-pack of these. That's
there
it.
There we go.
All right. That's it. That's the only 6-pack you get from me. Right. But what I'm saying is so I use that to say, I think that this is part of the problem with women in dating. Like women always want to, they say, not always, hey, this person, men ain't this and men ain't doing this and I need this kind of man. And I'm like, those kind of men exist.
Oh yeah.
But they may not be in the body form. And so that just goes to say, when you make those lists, are you saying that physical part has a high priority? Would you say that?
So my thing
is, it's wishful thinking.
It's wishful thinking because I don't know if it's because I'm not ready to be in a commitment yet.
Okay.
Right. I'm just being out there, whatever happens kind of thing. So I don't even have a list per se. I'm like, whoever comes my way, let's see where it goes kind of a thing. If you make me laugh and you're funny, all right, let's see. I mean, look, this 26-year-old I'm seeing is not anybody that I would even calm down. It's not anybody that I would even see myself with,
But he checks all the boxes.
Just because he checks the boxes don't mean nothing. He's fucking 7 years younger than me. Okay, I'm not trying to make a relationship out of this. Okay, but
hold on. But you don't have a list.
I don't have a list.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's one thing. He's 7 years younger than you.
Well, okay, I don't want him to be a child.
He's not a child.
He's not a child. He's a grown
Jeremy,
man.
he is giving grown man behavior. My guy opens doors. My man makes plans. He makes reservations.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I say, let me ask you this. I'm not a woman, so I don't know.
Right.
But do you think, this is for either of you guys, that it's more about a woman's insecurities or where you particularly are in your life that prohibits you from seeing these good men for who they are? So you got a guy here, but he's 26. Do you think that that's less about him being 7 years younger than you or more about you not really being ready for a serious relationship?
Absolutely. No. I say this all the time. It is me. I have so much baggage right now. I'm like, this little boy can't even handle the baggage that I have.
If you don't stop calling this grown man a little boy.
Yeah, that's not nice.
I don't say that.
Put some respect on his behavior, honey.
He is. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. The young man. I'm joking.
That's hilarious.
Listen, the guy, he's great. Okay. Yes. But it is me. And I fully know that. I mean, I've been telling a lot of guys that I even talk to, listen, I have so much that you don't know what kind of attitude I'm going to have. You don't know what kind of mood I'm going to be in. I have a lot going on in my mind. Okay. Not even just my life, period. So absolutely. It's just, that is me just not being fully ready for a commitment. Absolutely. But it happens, but.
Okay. So then should women, men date when they're in that mindset?
That's very true. Oof. I don't know.
Christy, what do you think?
Oof.
I feel like I have two sides of it because my mom passed away and my father married within a year of her passing away. And I'm pissed. So mind you, they were together since they were, like you, 16. They were married. They were together for 42 years, married for 37.
Wow.
So yeah. So for me, it was like, the fuck are you doing, bro? You know, but I understand, like, he's never really truly been alone. No matter if, you know, they were like, their relationship was not the best marriage ever. But at the end of the day, they truly madly, deeply loved each other. And I felt like he could have waited, but the fact that he was alone, he couldn't handle it. So even though I'm upset, I get it. I just don't like the way the whole situation went down. But I feel like if you feel ready to bring someone into your life, then you should definitely try. But if you try and it does not work, be fair to the person that you're bringing into your turmoil and let them know, like, I'm not ready for this situation right now, instead of just tolerating it and dealing with it because I don't want to be lonely.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, me being lonely, because when you wake up to a person every goddamn day and you look to your right or your left and that person is right there and then all of a sudden they're not, it's like, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing? You know? And you know, I see therapists, you know, like, and I'm so with that, like, you should seek help about it, you should speak to somebody, you know, and I do, and she's even told me, you know, well, you have to be comfortable being by yourself, you know, and I'm like, oh no, you're absolutely right about that, you know. So I do feel like I have been getting there, you know. But also I would say only reason I want to date and be is because I just want to be happy. And I feel like me sitting here is not making me happy. You know, I feel like I'm just drowning in my own sorrows, kind of a thing, you know. So I think, and it actually, I feel like, okay, calm down.
I know, hugs.
Calm down, guys. I feel like it actually has been helping. I feel like I'm at my happier point. I won't say happiest, you know,
right.
I'm happier than I was 5 months ago, 2 months ago. And just putting myself out there and, you know, period, just like getting attention and feeling like I could look myself in the mirror and say, oh, you are beautiful. Because at one point I couldn't even look myself in the mirror. I was just like, who is this goddamn person? You know, I mean, we talk about it all the time, you know.
We talked about that, you know.
Yeah.
And I've watched you in your marriage and, you know, still recovering from, you know, your loss, and like you evolving to where you are now. You're definitely way more confident than you were. Because even when you were married, like sometimes you know.
No, I definitely wasn't confident.
Yeah. So now it's like, and I told you in that episode, like, to me right now, you are the strongest I've ever seen you. So, you know, and you just have to do it whatever feels good. You know, my big thing is whatever feels good to you, keep doing it. And once it stops feeling good, stop doing it. And that's with everything and anything in life.
And I think that works good. And you know, just the simple fact that you know, you're doing a podcast and you're talking about it, and you have a wonderful friend in Christie. I think that's amazing. That's, you know, you guys' friendship is amazing. I think that's awesome. And that's going to help too. Now I got a question for y'all, right? All right. So we in the ladies' lair, right?
Yes.
So I got to pick up.
Crazy.
My light got me looking weird.
Oh, stop.
All right. So if you guys, I know you're not supposed to ask this, but Simone, how old are you?
Oh, I love my age.
Oh, you do?
I am 33 years goddamn old.
Okay, 33. That's good.
I will be 34 in May.
I am in my 40s. I'm 40 years old.
Okay, 40. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this might be, well, no, this would be a good question for you too. All right. Older men. How do you feel? So you had this whole thing about this guy being a little boy because he's 7 years younger than you, but you're 33. How do you feel about 40, 45? And so for Christie, for you, that would be 50 or 55.
Go ahead, Simone.
Oh, men.
Listen. I'm locked in.
All right. So I did talk to two guys. One was 47 and one was 45. And we're really much into the sign stuff. What sign are you, by the way?
Leo.
A Leo.
Ooh,
okay.
He's a party.
Vibe though. But yeah. Okay. So we're starting to
party.
Right. One of them was a Libra, one of them was a Taurus like me. So I thought the Taurus guy was gonna be, it was that I was like, who cares if he's 47 years old? It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, 45-year-old, fucking crazy. He was like, nigga was calling me at 9:30 in the morning, then called me at 11:30, then called me at 1:30, 3:30, 5:30, like every 2 hours. Like, and I don't mean like even just trying to text me to say what you doing kind of thing. Like, no, I'm just gonna call you, and then if you don't answer, I'm gonna call you again. Right. Okay. Like I decided I didn't want to just ghost him. So I had a conversation with him. Listen, I think we should just be friends. You're a very nice person. Like, I think this should be it, and he was like, okay, I totally understand that. Yeah. What happens 2 days later? He's doing the same goddamn thing. So I had to tell him the other day because he kept, and then of course I'm like not gonna answer him. He keeps calling, good morning, blah blah blah. And I'm like, listen, I can't do this anymore. End of story. Okay, because I just literally can't. Okay, the other guy was great. Okay, but I feel like when they're that much older, the pressure to be in something is so high that they don't understand. It's like, I'm sorry, but especially the fact that I've just lost somebody. It's just like, I need time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is the first time I've been single in the last fucking 12 years. Like, you're not gonna be my next husband, and I'm letting you know this from the get. Okay, I put it out there like, you're not gonna be my next husband. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, I am seeing multiple people. There are multiple people on my phone. There's multiple people calling me. You ain't the only one. Okay.
Right.
Listen, number 3.
Oh, we talk that whole meme.
Oh Lord.
Right. So I feel
you okay? Yeah. Okay. You out of pocket with the memes.
Too, right. But
listen, anything that we post is actually what's happening.
Stuff like for real.
Okay.
Like they are in their feelings. And listen, I understand.
I love it though.
Bro, no. And I understand because you want this commitment.
You want to lock in.
And I totally understand. But I've told you that I am not ready for it. Don't push me and pressure me because it's only just going to make me go back into my shell even more.
Right.
And that's the problem. Right. That's what makes with older guys.
The only thing I have to say about what you're saying, what you're complaining about aren't real things. The reason why that's a thing is because you're not ready for a commitment.
Yes. No. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
So absolutely. That's the reason why that bothers me. Right.
But really, in answer to the question, you don't have an issue dating older men.
No, I don't. I just feel like they just right at this.
They're very pushing
too much. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
When I'm ready, when I'm fully ready, oh, absolutely, I'll probably be into it. I wouldn't care. Like, I don't care how old you are.
Right.
Especially, honestly, I think I would date older men. I think I would date older men because of the fact that I don't want kids anymore, and I don't want to have a kid with some older person either.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. If I do have a kid, they have to be my age. They have to be a little younger. I mean, granted, my husband was 35 years old and he passed away. Like, the nigga could be fucking 55 and still live longer than me. But I'm just in my head, because I'm so terrified of that. I'm just like, oh God, I don't want you to die on me and leave me with this goddamn kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my insecurities and my, mind. And
for me, I have a thing. I don't date more than 5 years older than me.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Just because I've dated, like, my son's father is 9 years older than me. And it was always, I always felt like I was a child to him just because of the way he would say certain things to me and like, oh, you don't know this because you're so young and young. And so like, that's a thing in my brain. So and I've dated other older guys. It's always the same thing. Like, oh girl, you don't know nothing about real music. Let me tell you about real music. And I'm just like,
yeah,
bro, I'm 40 years old. Like, I'm not a child. Yeah, okay. So I have a thing like 45, 46 is like my max. If I meet a really great guy that's like knocking on 50's door, I would experiment with it. But just like someone said, it's that I'm ready for a committed relationship. But like, some of these guys are literally like, they want to be married tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But I need to know you first. Like, what's your last name? Exactly. What's your mama name?
What's my last name? The fuck?
Like, some of them are just such in a hurry to fall in love. And I'm at the same place, but bro, like, you gotta Like I'm not marrying you and I don't know your sisters. Like I can't be that person where they be like, oh, here come this bitch. I don't want to ever be put in that position. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys at that age, that's how they moving. Like, slow down just a little bit.
I pray that I never have to be single again.
I pray.
You won't. You won't.
I told you. I will call your wife for you.
Yeah, I pray I never have to be single again. Do you guys believe in love at first sight?
We were just talking about this.
We seriously were.
Literally getting in an Uber tonight, coming back home. I literally said that to Simone.
Oh my God. So
I'm giving you a lot of sound bites.
I know, it's true.
I do believe in love at first sight. It's happened to me 2 times.
Okay.
Twice?
And both times it was 2 people who I cared and fell in love deeply with. So I do believe that it's a thing. I do believe it can happen again. Because I feel like sometimes you see someone and that energy that they give you that is unspoken, I'm here for the unspoken energy. And sometimes that unspoken energy can say so much more than my actual words can or my actions can. And if you know me, you know I'm about the actions. But just that, you over there, me over here, like it's something that happens. And I don't know what it is. I don't try to understand it, but I totally believe in it.
Okay, well, I feel like it did happen to me once, my husband. But on another note, I feel like I did have a similar connection during sex. Is that a thing?
Love at first fuck?
Yeah, if you had it, then it's a thing. Yeah.
Right.
Love at first fuck?
Yes, like I see them and it's like, oh, this is like, okay. But that connection when we did it was like, holy fuck, I've never felt this before. Is that a thing?
I mean,
it's probably whatever. It's probably it's probably whatever came before that. The sex just enhanced it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, because that was like I didn't expect it to be where it was. This is cemetery guy, funeral guy, whatever. Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, I never told you this part, but this is why I won't let his nigga go. Okay, because of this fucking connection I had with him that first time, it won't go away. Oh my gosh!
I'm getting it right up on the camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get right up on the camera for this. That wasn't real.
Oh, now it's not real. Shut up. That's why I didn't say who it was. That's exactly why I didn't say who it was. I definitely believe in love at first sight because I lived it. Yes. I'm still living it. I actually
your wife is the luckiest woman on earth.
So but I don't know. Well, you can ask her. You let her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's talk to her.
Ask her. Listen, I'm definitely a handful to deal with, right? But I will tell you this, and I tell my wife this all the time, right? This is a true story. This is a true story. Mm-hmm. There's no lie. Okay. I still feel the same way for my wife that I felt the first time I met her.
I'm leaving.
I'm dead serious, dude. That is the honest to God truth. And I tell her this all the time. And she thinks, she's like, oh, get out of here. You just talk. But every time we make love is like the first time. It feels like the first time.
Wait, every single time. I'm about to cry.
Every single time. That's no lie. That's no lie. I mean, whether you guys use that as a clip or not, it's cool. But that is the honest to God truth.
I repeat, your wife is the luckiest woman on earth.
You know what? It's not even that. It's the fact that what I think was bothering me the most is the fact that I'm not gonna find this.
That's not true. Don't say that.
That's not true. That's not true.
Don't ever say that.
But you gotta also
with your words, Simone.
Fuck that.
Yes, that's not true. And here's the thing: you also got to understand this. One, we met a long time ago. I mean, we have a long history together, and I assure you, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, no.
I assure you, she yells. She screams at me. I get on her nerves. And over 30 years, I haven't been perfect. Believe me when I tell you, I haven't been perfect, right? But that doesn't change how I feel about her, right? That doesn't change that. But, I'm not perfect. I get on her nerves. I make mistakes. Like, you got, like, you guys see how I play around in the comments and the messages. So I'm silly. That's just who I am, right? Mm-hmm. She knows that about me, but it annoys her, right? Mm-hmm. It annoys her, right? So, but it doesn't change how I feel about her.
Of course not. But to hear the way you speak about her and you guys' relationship, like a lot of men would not speak as freely as you speak about your relationship with her, and to let people know, like, I love her. Like, to say that having sex with her after 20 some odd years, 30 some odd years, like having sex for the first time, who the fuck says that shit, Jeremy?
That's the truth. That's the truth, though.
Look at Simone's crying.
Oh no. Oh, Simone.
Simone is crying.
Don't make me cry anymore.
Don't cry.
And she's a tough cookie. I'm the crier, just to let you know. Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Simone is crying. I'm sorry I'm not there.
Yes, I know. Hugs.
Anyway, let's wrap this shit up.
So, Jeremy,
oh my God.
Marry, kill.
Whew.
Say it again.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yes, this is our end game.
Okay.
All right. So Scarlett Johansson, Nia Long, or Halle Berry. And Halle Berry, I should say.
Who you fucking, who you marrying, who you killing?
All right, I'm killing. All right, who? Okay, wait. Give me the three again.
Scarlett Johansson, you know her.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson. Okay, Scarlett Johansson. Okay. All right, go ahead. Black Widow.
Halle Berry.
Oh. All right. Scarlett Johansson is getting smashed out for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm marrying Nia Long, and Halle Berry can hit the bricks.
Yo, I knew he was gonna kill Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Every man is gonna kill Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Halle Berry's done.
I would smash Scarlett Johansson.
You know what? You know why? Because first of all, I love dark-skinned women. Sorry, Simone. My wife is, actually, you know what? For our anniversary, I haven't posted any pictures of her. I will post a picture. We're going away this weekend. I will post a picture. My wife is very pretty. But she's very dark skinned.
Beautiful.
I love dark skinned women, so that's why
Halle Berry.
That's why Nia Long would be married.
Right.
That's why we're married Nia Long.
Yeah, but you're gonna fuck Scarlett Johansson, the whitest girl. I mean, she's hot.
She's still hot, right? She's still the Black Widow. All right, there you go. There's my fantasy. The Black Widow.
There you go. Way to bring it back around, Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yo, I would definitely go down on Scarlett Johansson. I know I say Rihanna all the time. But Scarlett Johansson is fucking hot. I'm sorry.
She seems really cool.
She just does. She really does. And it's just her voice and the way she just like, okay, I need to calm down. I'm just gonna become a lesbian. I'm gonna go on these apps and just.
Well, I mean, you can if you want, but
no, of course.
You don't have to do that.
No,
you have to go that far.
Right.
I want to say, can I say something before you wrap up?
Please.
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to say this. I have a very unique situation. It doesn't happen that often nowadays that you meet somebody at a very young age and you get to be married to them for the amount of time that I've been married to them. I assure you that I am not perfect and that I get on my wife's last nerve, right? But what we have been able to do is we've been able to work out everything over the years. Everything that we've been through, and trust me, we've seen it all. There's not much that we haven't seen. And so from being childhood sweethearts to now having a grandchild, right? We've seen every level of life, raising our children to adults, seeing my daughter get married, and now my son's dating. So we've seen everything. Marriage takes a lot of work, right? And my advice to you women, you Black women that are dating is, you never know what package is going to come in, right? The things that are most important in a relationship don't always come in the shiny package, right? But I do understand that if you could get that, that's great. But I do understand that the physical part is important. But, don't write off the guy that has all the important qualities that make a good husband. because there are good qualities that make a good husband that don't look like a certain height or even a certain penis size for that matter. Exactly. I mean, if you get a good penis size, I mean, my wife got lucky, right? But everybody, but but not everybody gets that situation, but it doesn't mean, but you could have the biggest massive bank account, the biggest most massive penis, and you could be the worst person in the world.
Absolutely.
You're
so
right.
Look for good qualities. So for all you women that are out there that are dating, look for good qualities in men.
Yeah.
Good qualities. They open the door for you. They speak to you with respect. They're loyal to you. They're trustworthy. They do what they say they're going to do, and they're there for you when you need them, and they, they lead you not to be above you, but that you feel safe to follow them to any situation.
Jeremy, did you hear this conversation that Simone and I were having before I got literally everything you're saying is what I was saying to her about someone.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. But also know they're not going to be perfect either.
Right. Of course. I mean, I feel like with love, like you have to choose to love this person every day. And just because I love you, I have to choose to love you every day and choose to go through the struggle with you every single day. So love is a choice at the end of the day. But for me, like, I know what I want and I don't have a problem with commitment, but you have to choose to make sure that you want to be a part of this every single day and make sure that you make that choice every day to try that hard every single day. Yeah. And anything could work out. Look at you, freaking 14 and met your wife and fell in love and fucking still married. Who the fuck does that? Yeah. Goddamn.
And we got a long way to go.
I hear that.
Damn right. God willing, man. Whew.
So I will post a picture because no one's actually ever seen my wife.
Yes, I
can't wait to see her.
So I will post a picture.
This little brown goddess.
I'm gonna repost it because I'm gonna be so excited about it. Oh my God, Jeremy, thank you so fucking much.
Yes.
Cry. But I still thank you for being here. Okay.
I appreciate you guys for having me. I'm so happy that that you guys let me come on and be a part of this. And we got a lot more to do. We have a lot more to do. We just getting started, really. So we just got to keep our energy up, and we just got to keep just pushing all this content to people. And
it's true.
Let's keep going.
So where can people find you?
All right, on Instagram at LifeUnplugged_podcast, on Twitter at LifeUnpluggedPod_1, and I'm on Clubhouse at LifeUnplugged.
Oh God, Troy told me to get on. Pork, I should say, from Cool Out Corner told me to get on Clubhouse. I'm like, oh,
we're not doing it.
Yeah, Clubhouse. Let me just tell you. I'll tell you this one quick thing for you. Clubhouse is very time consuming and you have to find the right rooms.
Okay, never mind. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like you have to, because you could get in some ratchet rooms and you're like, what the heck is going on here?
Right.
Yeah, okay. No, you have to sift through, find the right rooms. And then once you get in the right room, it's very time consuming. Like you could end up spending sometimes I'm sitting at my desk, I just put it on in my ear and it's like, you could be on there 3-4 hours.
Oh God, no, I can't do it.
It's very time consuming. Sometimes I just listen in. I'm like, oh my God, what are you talking about? And then sometimes it's good information, but you have to really sift through and find the right room for you. So
no, that makes sense. Thank you though. Yes. Yep. And you're on Apple and Spotify, all those other.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, right? And then to listen to the podcast. All right, real quick. Listen to the podcast, all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate it and leave a comment. Please. And Spotify, of course, subscribe, follow, click the notification bell so you know when new episodes drop. The finale episodes of season 1 are available right now. Part 1, part 2, a breakdown of the movie American Skin with Y'all Ain't Easy podcast, and also the Smoking Word podcast. Season 2, the first episode of season 2 will be dropping on March 27th. So just be ready for that.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for joining us. Yep. We appreciate you. We love to hear you talk with that voice of yours.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
I hope all great things for you in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I wish you guys the best too.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Catch you guys next time for another episode of the Ladies Lair podcast. Love ya.